Maine has towered above the Utah State campus the last 124 years. Tonight, she presides over a snow-covered Cache Valley for an old-fashioned late-night Mountain West showdown. Boise State and Utah State. The herd has braved the storm. They are here. They are ready. And we are excited for some college hoops late night here on this Wednesday evening on FS1. My name is Trent Rush, alongside by Nick Baugh. Utah State, 7 straight wins once again at the top in February.
The consistency of this program is remarkable. Gerald Calhoun has done a terrific job his second year here. This team checks a lot of the boxes offensively and defensively, but Boise State's much better offensively over the last month. This will be a good one today.
Yeah, they've won 7 of 9, and had they been able to beat UNLV in their last game, maybe a very different conversation for where Boise State is at right now, but they had a 23-point lead, couldn't win that game. San Diego State lost last night, so Utah State at the moment sole possession by a half game of first place in the Mountain West standings. Let's meet our starting fives for these two teams tonight, starting with Boise State. Dylan Andrews at 33 2 games ago at New Mexico. The UCLA transfer has really come alive. Pearson Carmichael's coming off back-to-back 16-point games, and then Drew Fielder, the Georgetown transfer, 14 points a game at the top. Falslev, Allen, kind of your mainstays for Utah State. MJ Collins, third leading scorer in the Mountain West Conference. Well, we mentioned the snow. A real storm has come into Logan, and that has not stopped the herd. The atmosphere incredible. One of the best student sections in the West on display tonight. The fans are fired up for it. Even the general fan base that is beyond just the students has done an excellent job coming here. Again, it's been dumping snow all day long.
It's not good out there, but it won't stop this Aggie fan base. This is one of the best environments in college basketball. And shame on us for doubting that they would not brave the elements.
Late night game in a storm, and Utah State fans still showing out. Opening tip is won by Boise in black, Utah State in their home whites. That's Fielder, 14 points a game, has it down the block, going to work underneath, and he puts it up and rattles out first shot of the game.
Well, to me, the roadmap for victory for Boise State is you got to control the glass and you got to get to the free throw line. So you're going to have to really play with an element of physicality for full 40 minutes here.
Mason Falslev has just been so consistent at Utah State throughout his career, and is that once again. So a bucket underneath, first points of the game. Utah State strikes first from Zach Keller.
Keller's not really a big scorer, more of a screener and energy guy, so you get buckets from him, it's gravy.
This is Dylan Andrews. Stop and pop, and knocks it down.
Tell you what, that two-man game of Fielder and Dylan Andrews just pick and pop and attacking is a really deadly combination. And those two guys are really starting to find their groove together.
Ball gets in the corner for MJ Collins, 18.5 a game, back up top. Falslev's three is no good. He's been so efficient this year. That's kind of been Jared Calhoun's bread and butter with this team, is their efficiency.
No doubt. Second in the Mountain West Conference in field goal percentage is Falslev.
Backdoor slash. Carmichael converts on the dish from Drew Fielder.
The heck of a play from Fielder, who's pretty versatile at that 5 spot. He can shoot the 3. He's a capable passer as well.
Falslev with 3 black jerseys around him, unable to score. Buchanan transition 3.
Gotta be real careful with those shots. You do not want to get into an up and down fast-paced game in this building with Utah State.
These are the 2 leading scoring teams in the Mountain West Conference on display tonight. And there's Zach Keller showing, hey, I got some range too, the Utah transfer.
A great play to get things started. That could loosen up the defense a little bit. Be interesting to see if Boise State overreacts now and wants to get out on Keller in any sort of pick and pop.
Zach Keller was 1 for 4 from 3 2 games ago, and now is 4 of 5 since, but an answer back from Fielder.
Fielder's a talented guy, and he's been really efficient in his own right. 54% from the floor and 41% from three. Usually more of a pick and pop guy, but a couple of one-on-one post-ups.
Collins in the corner. Allen, known for his passing, misses the three.
Drake Allen's got to pick and choose his spots to take those shots because the scouting report is to play off him, but he's every once in a while see if he can make a defense pay.
Now here comes Andrews trying to answer back the three of his own, can't do it.
This is where Boise State's going to get tested. That transition defense has got to be on point because the Aggies are relentless running, and I think that's also where their depth helps because they're just going to bring in fresh bodies and keep the foot on the gas.
It's up top to Elamine. Gets the flip underneath and the flush from Keller.
A very under control play from the freshman Elamine too. Curling into the middle of the paint and seeing the dump down. What a start for Keller.
Poked free by Allen, saved by Boise. Andrew Meadow now. And Utah State by one. How about the start from Zach Keller? Already his third highest scoring game of the season.
I called him not really a scorer, and he's doing nothing but shutting me up early here. Keller doing a little bit of inside-outside damage. Little flip back trailer three, and then roaming that dunker spot and dunking.
There was a day when Zach Keller was Colorado High School Player of the Year, has bounced around, went to Utah, was coming off the bench for the Utes, made the move up north to Logan, and has gotten a starting role, but now coming alive tonight against Boise State.
Just playing off of his teammates and taking the right shots. And again, he's a guy that he had 11 points 2 games ago against Fresno State. That's his only double-figure game of the season. But that's not where he necessarily sees the value in himself. He comes out and he starts, plays with energy, and then the combination of him and Templin together here going to be really, really challenging for Boise State. But Keller understands his role, but it's starting to blossom a little bit over the last week or so.
Yeah, it was brought in to replace Aben Gadaretsu, and he's been a contributor, maybe not necessarily in the box score, but has given Utah State valuable minutes. And between him and Adlon Elamine in the front court, the Aggies becoming formidable down low. First shot was a missed free throw from Buchanan, who gets the second. Boise State's been an outstanding free throw shooting team this year.
The free throw line's a huge part of Boise State's offense. Get about 19 points per game from the free throw line.
Drake Allen hung on the rim and fell off. Here come the Broncos out in transition. Nato has his pass deflected. Meadow now with 12 to shoot. Right wing three, Buchanan. Left of the backboard. This is Colby King, a good shooter. They like him from distance. Goes back out, false left. Popcorn machine floater short.
That ball was really moving. Needed to have an Aggie be ready to catch and shoot at some point there, but you can love the unselfishness, which is typically the case with how Utah State operates.
Hey, they're on pace to set the new program record for assists. 18.2 a game, top 20 in the country.
They have multiple weapons, and they're all unselfish.
Stop down low, is trying to get a Carolyn. So far, Zach Keller, all the offense for Utah State. He's got all 7 of their points.
It seems like Utah State's got pretty good shots as well.
Off the top, here comes King. Back out, Templin. Templin's really emerged of late. He scores in traffic.
Double figures in 7 of his last 9 games. Had 20 points in that incredible game against Memphis here. And he was Mr. Energy and intangible, but now tangibly, he is scoring the ball.
The junior from Fairview, Texas, playing some of the best basketball of his career, and Meadow quiets the herd in Logan.
Again, Boise State, a lot of threes early, which they've shot it better lately from beyond the arc. They got to have a paint mentality and try to get to that free throw line and own the glass and own the paint if they're going to win this game. False left.
All the way in the corner for Templin. Somehow works out of it. Slashing is Allen. Can't get it to fall. A tough start for Allen shooting the basketball. He's 0 for 3. Meadow now from range. Back-to-back buckets for Andrew Meadow. A 3-point lead for Boise State. That's their first triple of the night.
Played a lot of basketball for Boise. He certainly is always ready for the moment. Meadow is.
Drake Allen gets his defender up in the air. Count it, and one for Drake Allen.
That's Drake Allen's game. Obviously, he's a pass-first kind of a player, but ultimately, when he gets in that paint, he is capable. It's just really good job of playing off 2 feet. Not 1, not 2, but 3 shot fakes, and now he's at the free throw line for a chance for a 3-point play.
And for Drake Allen, coming off of a pretty frustrating game he had against Memphis. Had just 3 points, played 13 minutes, got foul trouble. Really was limited all night long, or all afternoon long, and now here tonight, trying to establish that presence, and made free throw can tie up this game at 12 apiece with 12:35 left in the first.
But that's the beauty of the balance of Utah State. A guy like Drake Allen can maybe struggle a little bit, and you're just fine. Because I like this young buck coming in the game for Utah State, Elijah Perriman. I'm a huge fan of his future as a young point guard.
Reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Week. Had 16 with 7 assists against Fresno. 10 points, 9 assists in the blowout win against Memphis. It's been a good homestand for the freshman Perryman. Where's number 1 for Utah State? Guarding Andrews. Meadow couldn't catch the ball in the corner. Dribbles out of traffic, running out of time. 2 to shoot. Running out of time is Aarons. He lost sight of the shot clock.
The communication was perfect. A lot of switching and a lot of pressing out into the basketball. And that's the thing with Utah State. They're a unique defense to go against because it's a little bit of zone, a little bit of matchup zone, a little bit of man-to-man, and it can get you on your heels.
And this herd student section, I mean, they're like sharks that smell blood in the water, and they make a mistake, they're ready to attack you. They're even wearing T-shirts tonight representing the Sharks after Boise State lost their first game of the season to Hawaii Pacific, a non-D1. Utah State's fans are creative, their team's good at scoring, and we got 12 apiece with 11:51 left in the first. The spectrum showing its soft side with the kiss cam here inside at Logan, Utah. Utah State, Boise State, 12 apiece. He's Nick Baugh, I'm Trent Rush. Boy, so far to start this game, a little surprising. It was Zach Keller that's carried the load for Utah State and Jared Calhoun's squad.
Yeah, neither team finding much rhythm. Boise State 1 for 5 from 3. Utah State getting a lot of shots in the paint, haven't been able to get them to go down. But the thing about Utah State is there have been numerous games where the starters can be a little flat and the second unit comes in and really ignites them. So we'll see if Harriman and company can do just that here.
Yeah, Utah State's been one of those teams that they can withstand 1 or even 2 prime players having an off night, and they can still win. They've shown that. Wow, somehow split that pass through, and it's good for Gary Clark. How did Perryman get that to go through?
I don't know. He's got away. He is a really high IQ passer.
So Colby King picks up the foul.
Well, you can see Jared Calhoun after that made basket telling his team to get up, ratchet up that pressure. sometimes when you're having a hard time in the half court, you want your defense to help you get out in the open floor. It's a huge part of Utah State's offense is fast break points. They're 22nd in the country in fast break points.
Andrews off the dribble, gets underneath. Aarons now 10 to shoot, spins around a defender and slams it home.
Wow. Aarons with a big-time sequence. 6'10" freshman.
Spencer Aarons didn't score against New Mexico, had 10, and then that. Welcome to the Spectrum. For those on FS1 joining us now, Utah just got a win in Morgantown, and now they're state mates, Utah State, trying to expand upon their half-game lead in the Mountain West Conference, taking on a quality Boise State opponent. That's won 7 of 9. Utah State, winners of 7 straight games. And this one already with some early fireworks. Some late-night Mountain West hoops action. He's Nick Baum. My name is Trent Rush.
I don't think either team's really settled into this game yet, but a big sign for Boise State to get Drew Fielder to knock down a long-range triple as you take a look at Jared Calhoun, who has just done an incredible job in his second season at Utah State. Or right now, it's pretty much just like death taxes, and Utah State is good at basketball, regardless of who's in charge.
Yeah, you got Craig Smith, Ryan Odom, Danny Sprinkle. Now Jared Calhoun just continuing that trend. It's been one after another, and what a proud program Utah State has become. 3 straight 25-win seasons. They're at 22 now. Surely they'll be making it 4 in a row. But a good test tonight against a hungry Boise State team coming off a pretty devastating loss against UNLV in a game where they had a 23-point lead. Dylan Andrews, the UCLA transfer, off the window for a pair.
You said it, that UNLV loss was a gut punch for Boise State. To be up 32-9 and just be in complete control and fall apart and end up losing to the Runner Rebels. And what do you get for it? You get a trip to Logan, Utah.
One of the toughest places to play in the West. Shot fake, 3-ball Perryman. No. Fielder trying to get that rebound, and he and Templin collide. Boise currently on a 7-0 run. To get this sorted out. Carson Templin, who's really come alive over the last 9-10 games, and he was talking about getting hit in the chin.
He's really trying to get the officials to go look at a flagrant foul. The officials are not buying it. Now some full court pressure.
And Calhoun trying to mix it up as this Boise State team has gone on a run, and what that has done is let the wide open Pearson Carmichael, maybe too open, misses the 3, but it'll stay with the Broncos.
I might be old school, but that's a 2-on-1. You got to attack the basket and try to get something at the rim. Fielder wanted a lob. Did a good job breaking that press. You got to break it to score. I like the mindset, but I wish I'd have seen a different decision from Carmichael.
Dylan Andrews was on the UCLA team last year that beat Utah State in the NCAA tournament. He's your inbounder.
And 2 years ago, Andrews led UCLA in scoring. He's a big-time scorer with the ball right here.
Had 33 against New Mexico 2 games ago to help Boise get a win at the pit. There's Fielder. Turnaround fall away is off the mark.
This is where Utah State's got to push the gas. That's a nice job by Boise State, sprinting back, getting organized, getting matched up.
Top 2 scoring teams matching up tonight in the Mountain West with Boise State and Utah State. Utah State leads the conference, Boise second. And if you go back the last 10 games, there's been nobody better than Boise State at scoring the basketball after a rocky start to conference. Leon Rice has been so stable.
Yes.
At Boise State, 5 NCAA tournaments, 16 years leading this Bronco program. And in all of those years, all but 4, they have been in the top 4 of the conference standings. Right now, they're outside those. This is kind of uncharted waters for a Boise team that missed the tournament last year after making it the previous 3. Reverse lane is good. Dominic Parolin in transition.
Boise State has checked a lot of the boxes early in this game. Not allowed Utah State to get loose in transition. They've taken care of the basketball. The bench have made an impact as well for the Broncos.
Utah State's gone quiet. 3.5 minutes without scoring. Boise State's gone on a 9-0 run. Ball into the corner now. 3 balls missed by Elamine. Saved by Utah State. That's a much better place for Elamine for the slam.
What a great pass from Parolin. Just has a great sense of how to set up his teammates.
And now a takeaway. False left and a whistle. Boy, the herd was ready to bring the house down and bring the Aggies back in it.
A little eye manipulation from the freshman Elijah Parolin. Looks to the wing, hits the slashing Elamine. Freshman to freshman connection here in the second.
Saturday, we got a battle in the Big Ten on Fox Primetime Hoops. Freshman standout Keaton Wagler leads 10th-ranked Illinois against Tyler Bilodeau and UCLA. Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern only on Fox. What a day it has been in Logan, Utah. 8 inches of snowfall today. The first big storm of the season has not stopped this Utah State fan base. And it's one thing for the students to show up. They canceled class in the afternoon today. Well, that, again, it was just extra time for the students to get ready. And I think that the rest of the fan base, the community, has shown out as well. Impressive display at the Spectrum.
A reason that Utah State's been so consistently successful is because this environment is so consistently elite.
You think about so many really neat places to play in the Mountain West. San Diego State. You go to the Pit at New Mexico. Grand Canyon is as unique of a party atmosphere as you will find in college basketball. And the Spectrum is right there at the top of any of them as Buchanan misses. Ball slip. Spins around Carmichael for 2.
Now some full-court pressure, and that's the first order of business here for Utah State is just speeding the game up. Their defense has got to get more disruptive, and you got to get in the open floor. Even though that's necessarily a fast break layup for Falslev, it's early in a possession.
Carmichael strips. Numbers for the Aggies. Templin swatted. Second chance. Good for Elamine.
This is what Utah State can do. Just come at you in waves with fresh bodies, active hands, 9 steals a game for this Utah State team.
Boise State had gone on a 9-0 run. The Aggies have countered with a 6-0 run in the last 90 seconds. 1-point lead for the Broncos. 5 to shoot for Buchanan. Knocked away. Deep in the shot clock. Wide to the right. And they're going to call, they should call a shot clock violation here, and that is it. Never hit the rim.
Drake Allen blew that play up. It was supposed to be an ISO for Buchanan, but Allen was sitting in that gap, poked it free, and all of a sudden now you're late in the clock and you got to heave one up. That's a great play from Drake Allen.
Boise State, 4 turnovers so far here in the first half. 3 of them have come in the last 2.5 minutes.
I'm sure that depth makes a difference where you're bringing in fresh bodies and that energy can be spent defensively.
Allen into the corner now, and there's Colby King. The Mountain West leader in assists with a perfect dime to King and a 9-0 run.
And a wise decision from Leon Rice to call timeout. You get a piece of that paint, You kick it, and Colby King, who is always confident and aggressive off the bench, trying to score the basketball better than 40% from three, knocking it down.
So right after Boise State has all the momentum in the world, the media timeout, Utah State has come out of it, a 9-0 run in the last 2:17. Boise had made 5 straight shots. Well, they've missed 5 of 6 since then, and Utah State has taken advantage.
But you can see how the defense is tied to the offense. The defense got taken up a couple of notches for Utah State, and all of a sudden the offense started to flow a little bit. And Utah State, again, that depth is really impressive. They have so many different guys that can hurt you, and everybody plays with supreme confidence as well.
So now Utah State has taken a 2-point lead. Andrews will be the inbounder for Boise State, trying to stop this Aggie rally. What has been just a fun, competitive start to the finale of our triple header on FS1, finishing in the Mountain West Conference. Here's Andrews. Now they go underneath. And rejected! Carson Templin, get up, young man!
Tell you what, Trent, he is such a sneaky athlete. He gets these where he comes off his man to the weak side and sends it to the first row. Another energy play. The Spectrum really reacts to Templin.
I mean, he was bringing the energy in layup lines before the game, all of that. 5 seconds to shoot now. Andrews, 2 seconds, gets 2 defenders up and times it perfectly.
The decel at the end, that was really good. Got the shot blockers in the air, and then he's a little bit later when he goes up and lays it in, but that's a nice play from a veteran guard.
Yeah, Templin already had the 1 block. He was trying to get another. Now answers with a 3. Carson Templin does it all.
He is really playing with some confidence offensively here.
Double figures in 9 or 7 of his last 9 games, averaging 11 and 5 in that span.
Hey, coming off a career high, 20 points against Memphis. Again, he's usually just an energy guy, but he's starting to showcase his offensive capabilities.
Yeah, the fans love Carson Templin. That's even with the hair and everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
As much of these top of the floor pick and pops with Fielder, I think smart place to go for Boise State.
5 to shoot. Meadow runs out of room. Back to MJ Collins. Templin. Heat check.
A little eager, too. Almost like he never had it clean in his hand.
Okay,
Fielder.
so he was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
Missed everything on that.
Fielder wants to post up on Templin. They'll give it to him.
Knocked away by Falsleth, the assist leader in the Mountain West, and a timeout called by Utah State. Templin's on the ground. Of course, he's everywhere tonight. And Utah State has a 3-point lead.
Rob Stone with you. Coming up at the half, A.J. Devonson, number 23 BYU, look to hand Arizona their 3rd straight loss. Creighton pulled off the huge road upset, and it took double OT to settle the top 25 battle between Arkansas and Bama. Trent and Nick, we'll see you at the break.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Boy, I tell you, it's always a party late night in the Mountain West. You never know what to expect. Upsets galore. Last night, San Diego State went down, and that has allowed Utah State to have a half-game lead. Meanwhile, Boise State is trying to pull off yet another upset tonight here in the Mountain West and continue to cause havoc. Carson Templin not going to stand for that, though. With the perfect locks, the headband, the complete package, Nick Ball.
Yes, he is the complete package right now. And He's really scoring the ball at a high level. And these two teams, when they met in Boise, Utah State put it on the Broncos. And Boise State feels like they're in a different place right now. Offensively, they're playing at a much higher level. Got up to a good start, but I think the bench for Utah State and the energy and the production has changed the complexion of this game. Very important final 4 minutes for the complexion of this thing, in particular for Boise State.
Boise State had won their first 15 games when they were up at the half before losing their last game against UNLV. They're down 3 at the moment, and some free throws coming for Mason Falslev.
It can be deflating when you give up a lead like they did the other day to UNLV. Boise State, as you take a look at Falslev, doing a good job putting pressure on the defense, getting to the free throw line.
Nick, you were mentioning the first meeting this season. If you go back to this game last year here at the Spectrum, Utah State came back down 13 in the second half. Ian Martinez had a game-winning 4-point play at the end of that one with less than 10 seconds to go. Just absolutely wild how Utah State came back to it. There have been so many really fun matchups in this rivalry. If you look at maybe some of the biggest rivals Utah State has, obviously there's the in-state rivals,
sure,
but as far as out-of-state rivals go, you can make a case for Utah State. Boise has been there.
And I'm still having a hard time adjusting to not seeing Tyson Degenhart out there for Boise
Sure.
State. It's give me a year or two to get used to Degenhart not out there doing a little bit of everything for Boise State. One of the best players to ever do it for Boise State.
Falslev, just a junior, is trending into that kind of space for this Utah State program.
You're right.
In an era where we see so much movement, Falslev has been here start to finish.
And he's a local kid too,
yeah,
so he's already beloved. And now he's finishes his whole career here, and he is in all the record books.
I should say, still has another year of eligibility, so we'll see. You never know nowadays in college basketball, but
everybody's just Falslev 1 year at a time right now.
But Falslev has been a mainstay for a while here at Utah State. It's been fun to watch. Andrews, tough shot deep in the clock. They missed everything. Fielder saved it. The shot clock reset. I'm not sure if it should have.
I don't think it should have.
And now here comes Utah State in transition. MJ Collins works his way to the rim and scores.
Just so hard to guard, Trent, when you're backpedaling and a guard is coming with a head of steam at you, and they're as talented as the likes of Allen and Falslev and MJ Collins. Good luck keeping them out of the paint.
That's the third leading scorer in the Mountain West. 18.5 points a game, MJ Collins is. His first bucket came right there inside of 3 minutes to go in the first half, and now an offensive foul. So Utah State getting it back, trying to build on this MJ Collins bucket.
Well, again, they got multiple guys that are just relentless pushing the basketball, and it is so tough to guard when they got space and they can put their foot on the gas in the open court. And MJ Collins, he slowed down a little bit, in particular from three over the last 10 games, 18 of 68 from three. So he's been a little cold from there, but you know he can still find a way to score in other ways. Very athletic guard. If you're not careful, he'll go put you on a poster.
6 minutes ago, Boise State had a 7-point lead. Now they're down by 7 after this 16-2 run.
It is the defensive energy from Utah State got taken up a notch, and Boise State did a nice job building that 7-point lead by taking care of the ball. And all of a sudden now they've had a couple of turnovers and a couple of empty possessions, and the Aggies are rolling.
It also feels like, too, when Boise State is getting a shot, it's coming very deep in the shot clock and not where they want it.
Good call.
Falslev gets around his defender but couldn't get the layup.
Boise State's had a handful of shots, or excuse me, Utah State, a handful of shots right at the rim, not go down.
Falslev's 1 of 6 in this game, and we just heard the first bucket for MJ Collins. Those are 2 leaders, yet they're up by 7. Speaks to the depth of the Aggies.
How to punish these switches. You got Colby King battling Parolin inside.
Contested 2 for Andrews, tipped alive, still loose. Falslev goes to the ground, diving for it. Ends up in the hands of Keene for the Broncos. Ball still bouncing all over the place, and it will stay with Boise State.
Well, so far, I told you, Trent, that the formula for winning for Boise State was rebounding and the free throw line. And Utah State has done a good job hanging in there on the glass. Boise State, an excellent rebounding team, and have been physical without getting Boise State to the free throw line.
Nick, you'd mentioned before, Boise State, a team at 19 points a game, essentially, coming at the stripe. They have one so far in this game. They're 1 of 2 from the line. That's it.
And it's such a big part of the formula of how Boise State scores.
5 seconds for Andrews. 2 seconds. Still can't put it up. It's a shot clock violation. Well, we'll see. They're going to review it. The bucket was in, but I think they're going to review this, and it could probably be overturned. We'll see.
Well, Trent, you made the observation a second ago. How many times has Boise State gotten late in the shot clock here in this first half? Let's take another look at it. Oh, yeah, definitely still in his hands with 0 on that clock. This review shouldn't take long.
Boy, so even when Boise gets one, in all likelihood, this one's going to be coming off.
But Trent, did you see Drake Allen, so smart, understands the shot clock defensively. He came off his man to go double Dylan Andrews to just make the shot even harder for him and push him away from the basket. That guy right there, his defensive IQ is so high.
Drake Allen also expected to be a father like any minute.
Yes.
The baby's due on Friday. His wife, Holston, got married in July. And they have the baby due again in 2 days.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to play at Nevada on Saturday. We'll see how they handle that situation. But Drake Allen maybe getting that dad strength very soon.
Yeah.
Officials still discussing this.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. Just as we thought. Now Utah State's getting it back and a chance to build on this 16-2 run.
Yeah, easy call for the officials.
Pretty wild. Allen and Falslev have missed 8 shots in this game. The rest of the team has only missed 6. And so they find different areas to get production.
Well, these bench guys come in. They're not coming in just hold down the fort. They're coming in to change the game.
Keeping the shot clock for Falslev, and he turns it over. It's the 3rd turnover for Utah State tonight. Broncos trying to stop this 16-2 run that Utah State's had for close to 8 minutes. Deep 3 is short. Nato with the miss.
Hold for 1 if you want to.
And that's what Jared Calhoun is saying. It looked like Utah State wanted to attack. He's like, hold on.
I don't mind exploring early on, see if you could get one, but now you got to hold for the final one.
6 seconds. Allen slides towards the bucket. Hit on his way up, no whistle. Stays with Utah State with 3.2 ticks left. So now Boise State, I think, might get a challenge here, or at least Leon Wright wants a review, or he's going to call a timeout. We'll see. I think that's what the conversation was. It was initially it looked like Leon wanted a timeout, but now he's going to be challenging this.
Boise State is challenging the home court of Utah State basketball.
Drake Allen touched it last here.
I think he's got a fan at it. It's just hard to sell you. There's no way he hit it the second time.
Yeah, that is. Again, the call on the floor is Utah State ball, so there's got to be enough evidence to overturn it. I'm not sure I saw enough there.
there was that swipe at the end
Yeah.
that was not close. And maybe that's what Leon Rice saw to think he wanted to challenge this. But the actual contact when the ball came out of the hand on the shot attempt, I mean, that was bang, bang.
Very much so.
But regardless, I mean, he's got to be thinking, you can't give up a bucket. Obviously, it'd be great to score, but you don't want to go into the locker room having given up a 16-2 run over 8 minutes.
See if we can get a better look at it here. Boy, just not sure there's enough there to overturn this.
I mean, King got a lot of wrist, but I don't know. He might have gotten wrist, but did he get ball? And if so, did Allen get a finger on it at the end?
Here we go.
After review, the following report has been reversed. Boise successful challenge. Boise will not be charged with timeout. They have one challenge remaining for the game.
There you go.
Well, that was a roll of dice by Leon Rice.
Yes, it was. That was close.
With 3.2 seconds left, Boise State has a chance to at least get some of their momentum back heading into halftime. Up ahead, it's Nato, 1 second, and he doesn't get it off in time. He decided to pass to Carmichael instead of putting his shot up, and the Broncos just ran out of time. 30-23, our halftime score. Utah State closed out the half on a 7-0 run, part of a 16-2 run that spanned over 8 minutes. Boy, Boise State with that 7-point lead disappeared in a hurry. All right, we're going to take it to LA in the studio for the latest of what's going on across college hoops tonight. Meanwhile, Utah State has a 7-point lead at home over Boise State. Well, the Utah State Aggies have given the herd a lot to cheer about tonight at the Spectrum. The surgical gloves, the Hawaiian leis, the T-shirts, they've had it all. And as we look at what takes them above and beyond, how about the Utah State defense as we go above and beyond? Sponsored by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. And this has been impressive what they've done this year. Boise, 23 first half points, second fewest points they've had in a half all year long. And that is very familiar for opponents facing the Aggies.
Yes, and Utah State runs a very unique defense. They switch a lot. They'll switch defenses from zone to man, and it can get you a little on your heels. But the one thing that is always true is that Utah State is playing hard, and they're active going after the basketball. 23rd in the country in steals per game, getting 9 steals a game. They forced 8 turnovers in that first half. Carson Templin coming off his man, getting a block shot. Just the energy level, Trent, from the defensive side in the final 8-9 minutes of that first half was really good from Utah State.
And I'm trying to recall a game I've seen all year where I saw this stat. Neither team had any fast break points in the first half. And I think that's a testament to both teams defensively. But, I mean, we talked a lot about this. In the first half for Boise State, for them to just get a good look was tough because of just how deep they were in the shot clock. It seemed like every time they were putting the ball up in the air. First shot out of the half for Adlon Elamine. 3 from the left wing, and the rally continues now. A 19-2 run going back to the 18-minute mark of the first half, or 8-minute mark, rather.
Can Boise State get to the free throw line? And another turnover to get things started. Just Elamine's length in the passing lane. But Boise State only 2 free throw attempts in that first half. That's not going to get the job done for the Broncos.
A 7-point lead 9 minutes ago has turned into a 10-point hole for the Broncos. They just turned it over for the 9th time tonight. Here's Drake Allen. Got a quiet first half. Shooting the ball, misses that 3. Certainly been a key facilitator, 3 first half assists. Andrews runs right into the big man in Zach Keller.
Boy, a lot of contact there. Keller was vertical, but there was a pretty big collision.
Not a lot of fouls called in the first half. 9 between the two. And that's a huge part of Boise State's game is getting to the foul line. I mean, they haven't been getting whistles. 3 from the right wing from Keller, missed. Carmichael, short. Neither team has been great shooting from behind the arc tonight.
Well, at some point, you'd love to see Boise State get that pick and pop game with Fielder and Dylan Andrews, but the hard part is that Utah State switches a lot of those screens, but it's a big part of the offense as well as just getting Fielder versatility going.
Down to the post, Mason Falslev.
Good patience at the end of the drive again. Both him and Allen strong.
Fielder's been quiet, 5 first half points. That one missed from Buchanan. He was 0 for 5 in the first, now 0 for 6.
Boise State's just got no rhythm on this end of the floor at all. Utah State obviously has a lot to do with that.
12-0 run for Utah State. He's given them a 12-point lead. It's their largest of the night. Fielder's missed, but gets the second chance.
Well, finally, you're able to get a switch and actually get the ball into the post. Fielder had a guard on him, and he's able to get 2 in off the offensive rebound.
Not only that, for Boise's first make in a while, it's their first good look in a while. Feels like. This Falslev is able to come right back and score on the other side.
He loves those spins at the end of his drives.
8 for Falslev. Utah State fans know the story. Had every opportunity to play football coming out of high school. Might have even been better at football than basketball, but
that's saying something, too.
Has built an outstanding hoops career here in Logan, Utah. Foul underneath. That's going to go against Keller.
Falslev, 4th all-time in the record books for career steals. He's got 175. Plays with an edge. That probably comes from his football days.
You know, he's just one of those athletes that does it all.
Yes.
Fielder from downtown, able to deliver.
He has to get going. Fielder's got to be able to do a little bit of both. Punish people in the post, also step out, shoot the 3 ball. Him and Andrews got to lead the charge.
Falslev now. Every time you feel like Boise State can creep back in, Falslev has had the answer. He is now up to 11.
A little miscommunication. 2 guys go with the roll man, and Falslev burns you.
7 of those 11 here in the second half. Falslev has come alive. Meanwhile, Boise able to get an answer underneath. Comes from Buchanan.
Buchanan able to roll Falslev into the post.
It's Javen Buchanan's first bucket, the reigning 6th man of the year in this conference. Falslev just keeps it going.
Looking.
9 second half points.
He was 1 for 6 in the first half.
Falslev's taking over this game.
Yes, he is.
Fielder.
Job by Templin there to run him off the line.
3 in the corner was missed by Meadow. He's been quiet. Underneath, Templin gets his shot blocked, but contact, and that's going to go against Fielder, meaning free throws when we come back. Utah State up by a dozen. Mason Falslev in complete control. You know, I'm starting to wonder if Mason Falslev is just nocturnal, because the later the night has gone, the better the Aggie Stars play. He's got 9 of his 13 in the second half.
Yeah, he's come out with his foot on the gas. Maybe he had a cup of coffee at halftime. Whatever it is, he is balling right now. getting into the lane, hitting his floaters there. Two guys go with the roll man Templin, and he knocks down the three. What's amazing is he was really not in a very good rhythm to start this game. 1 for 6 in the first half. How about 4 for 4 and 9 in the first 4.5 minutes of this second stanza from Mason Falslev?
Yeah, quite the run right there. It was just been, he's just a billboard guy for Utah State. Somebody that you look to and you think, okay, what is Utah State basketball? Mason Falslev has been that. Plays so hard, both ends of the floor. He can put it up. He's had some games where he's had some really big scoring nights. Had 25-point games, a 26-point game. Just had 27 3 games ago at Wyoming. But also the conference leader in steals, and does it so many other ways.
And that's the thing, you said it, he plays both ends of the floor at a really, really high level. And again, at 6'3", 53% from the floor shooter. That's second best in the Mountain West Conference. And he's efficient, plays hard, just a winning player.
Yeah, he's the mayor of Logan.
That's right.
I mean, it just is, crown him already.
And some of this matchup zone, so a lot of switching, a lot of talking. And so it gets hard. You're running your man stuff, you're running your zone stuff.
Fielder underneath, left-hand hook is good. He's also come to play here in this second half. He's now up to a dozen. 7 of those coming in the second half.
Well, when teams are switching everything, you gotta have to find a way to win one-on-one. And I think Fielder and Andrews are the best one-on-one guys for Boise State.
Templin. He was the energy early. Turnaround 2 is a miss.
Immediately pats his chest, looks at the bench, saying, my bad, I don't think Jared Calhoun loved that shot.
Nato down low. Runs into the trees and misses the layup. Corner 3 now. Elamine.
It may seem simple, but simple wins. Perriman just sets the table for his teammates. And he lets Elamine get organized in the corner, and then a perfect delivery for a triple.
16 assists last week for the freshman Perriman, who's got 3 in this game.
I'm such a huge fan. He'd be so much fun to play with.
This is the Utah State team that you'd have to imagine the tournament committee is watching. What kind of seed are you going to give Utah State? Probably somewhere between a 7 at the high end. Maybe they can play themselves into a 6. Maybe a 10 on the low end. But this is a team. They're 23 in the net right now. And they are playing like a top 25 basketball team at the moment. Fielder, turnaround 2, short. Up ahead, Elamine. And he traveled, drug that pivot foot. He's got 10 points, double figures for the 8th time this year, but that turnover gives it back to Boise.
Boy, those two freshmen, they got a connection, don't they? It seems like Perriman is always looking at where Elamine's at, whether it's on the three-point line or running to the rim.
You know, it's interesting. You think about the veterans that Utah State has, Collins and Allen and Falslev, but it really does feel like it's their freshmen that create the separation.
Agree, because it's the depth that I think is one of the special things about this Utah State team, and those freshmen really round out the depth.
Here's Meadow with 7 to shoot. Contested 2, fouled, count it, and Andrew Meadow is trying to trim the deficit.
Jared Calhoun wanted an offensive foul, but Meadow just put his head down, able to create a little separation and get it to go down. Another situation just late in the clock, too, for Boise State.
So that foul's on Keller. That's his 3rd. Busy night for Keller. 7 points, 6 boards. Here's Meadow. Gets the free throw. Just the second made free throw for Boise State all night. A team that you mentioned before averages 19 a game from the stripe.
They just haven't been able to get there. It's been a pretty physical game, too.
12-point lead for the Aggies. A year ago, it was Boise that had a 13-point lead before Utah State came back to win. Can they return the favor a year later?
Plenty of time if you're the Broncos.
Around Ellermy. NATO directing traffic. Ellermy got a hand on it with that 7-foot wingspan.
He's so long.
Ellermy out of St. Paul Catholic in Arlington, Virginia. Came off the bench in high school. I mean, and he had offers everywhere. There were a lot of folks that were to that team at St. Paul Catholic, a top 10 high school team in the country. His junior year, #1 high school team in America. And now he's gone off the bench in high school to the starting lineup in college and better. Deep in the shot clock, NATO puts up a miracle, and it's another shot clock violation for this Aggie defense.
Amazing how often Boise State has found themselves late in the clock and having to shoot a low percentage shot. It's a nice job from Perriman. One-on-one there, making that shot really difficult.
It's the 3rd shot clock violation for Boise State tonight. And then on top of that, they didn't get the final shot off at the buzzer before the half. So it's not a shot clock violation, but effectively the same. Leon Rice taking this a teaching moment for his freshman NATO. Perryman keeps his balance. MJ Collins has it knocked away. And I think 12 minutes to go in this game. Utah State's up a dozen, and MJ Collins, our leading scorer, has 2 points. Seven to shoot. Contact on the follow-through, no whistle after the miss by Aarons. Up ahead, and the layup. Elijah Perryman out in transition. Timeout, Boise State. The Utah State Aggies are turning it up late night. The Herd brought the energy early. Templin had it going. And now Utah State defending their home floor, up 14 at the under 12. Cross-state rivals tip it off on Fox College Hoops Friday as Braden Smith leads 7th-ranked Purdue in a Big Ten battle against Indiana Friday night at 8 Eastern, only on Fox. And this is the time of year every game feels like a big game. The Herd showing out tonight.
Makes such a big impact.
And we keep mentioning the student section here at the Spectrum, but it really has been a major player in this game. And every time you feel like Boise State will start to get some momentum, one bucket can swing it all because of what this crowd is impacting on the floor tonight.
Yeah, oftentimes the crowd can impact the home team's defensive energy, and it can also impact the visiting team's decision-making, which those two things are tied in.
So a foul on the floor is going to take us to yet another timeout. 14-point lead for Utah State on their home floor tonight in some late-night Mountain West hoops on FS1. Boise State was in the college basketball crown a season ago after 3 straight trips to the NCAAB tournament. So Leon Rice has had Boise State in prime position for some time, but unusual year. If they lose this game tonight, they'll be under 500 in conference play. After a 1-5 start, worked so hard to get over 500. Nothing easy when you got to go to Logan. That's a jump ball. And the arrow belongs to Boise State.
Utah State has Boise State all discombobulated on offense right now, having a really hard time getting any clean looks.
Broncos just 36% shooting tonight. They're 3 of 15 from behind the arc. That's a good look. Meadow missed it. It's been so hard to get the good look to feel like everyone feels more important.
Yes, it does.
Drake Allen. Now they go underneath to Keller. Up top. Gary Clark, nothing but twine.
And he's capable. This is 12th made three of the season, but he's taken almost 50 on the season, so he's clearly got the green light if he's open.
Yeah, he's been their best three-point shooter this year and kind of that guy off the bench that he can count on and come in and knock down a three. Well, he and Colby King have been that. And Gary Clark able to connect.
Another solid pickup in the transfer portal. Texas A&M Corpus Christi comes in off the bench.
Yeah, it's King who's been their best three-point shooter, but yeah, for Gary Clark to come in and make that kind of sets the tone for what this night has been for Utah State.
And just the depth of this group and the balance.
Dribble drive and the foul is going to send Zach Keller to the strike.
Keller, they got the party started early on in the game. He scored the first 7 points of the game for Utah State. When things were a little clunky for the Aggies early on, it was Keller that was leading the charge.
And Boise State led this game 21-14 with 8:35 to go. And since that time, it has just been a Utah State domination.
That barely hit the net.
Maybe it had to, maybe it was that the wind from the snowstorm earlier came in for that
It
one.
was a pretty good wind gust.
Well, the first free throw Utah State has missed tonight. Missed everything. And of course, he makes the next one.
And a big smile from him on the way back.
Nothing to see here. Move along. Meanwhile, when it comes to shooting from the field, Utah State's made 7 of the last 9 shots. Boise State's missed 7 of the last 8. And MJ Collins thought he was going to have a takeaway, but not too much of Drew Fielder. That's his first.
At times, Utah State, when they're switching, they'll get aggressive and go at the ball.
The defense for Utah State has just been relentless tonight. This is Fielder. 10 to shoot. Nowhere to go. Andrews now back to Fielder. Better look. Ran into Clark. 3 seconds. Third time's the charm, but a miss. Keene couldn't even throw it off of Keller. Keller somehow absorbed it, and it's going to be Utah State ball.
A lot happened in that sequence. Well, you said it, the Utah State defense. Good help from Clark coming off his man. The Utah State help side defenders have been typically in the right spots. Tried to save it. Keller able to get it. Errant outlet. Andrews can't hold on to it.
I mean, Keene had the right idea. He just didn't. I mean, Keller took it like he was a sponge. It just stopped.
He threw that thing hard at him, too.
Yeah. And he got his money's worth. MJ Collins glides to the hoop and gets the finger roll.
Good action on that weak side of the floor, trying to get a stagger for Colby King that occupies that help. And MJ Collins can get busy going downhill.
MJ Collins has been in double figures in all but one game this year. He had 7 in the third game of the year against Utah State. Here he is on an outlet. Collins by himself. MJ Collins going to create a noise ordinance late night in Logan, a 22-point lead.
Just no defensive balance off of the penetration from Dylan Andrews, and just an easy outlet and dunk for MJ Collins.
I think Teflon likes that. Jared Calhoun waving the arms to the crowd as if they needed any extra encouragement tonight. A 22-point lead for Utah State. That slam makes it a 10-0 run.
Well, Jared Calhoun has done a good job of getting all of his guys to buy in to the depth and multiple guys coming in and out of the game. And sometimes that can be tough to capture when you're bringing in guys from the transfer portal, freshmen. You don't think Colby King and Templin and Merriman and those guys want to play extended minutes? Of course they do, but they buy in. If it's good for me, if it's good for the team, it's good for me. You can see that unselfishness for this group on display.
Utah State outscoring Boise State 27-12 here in this second half. It's been all Aggies. Fielder.
It's been the switching. Another block. It's been the switching of Utah State's defense that has gotten Boise State just off schedule. They can't run any of their sets because they're switching all those screens, and oftentimes you got to find a way to either win one-on-one or take advantage of a mismatch, and Boise State hasn't been able to do that.
Nick, we've mentioned before, 5 times this year, Utah State has held an opponent to their lowest scoring game of the season. Boise State's low on the year is the 58 that they had against Grand Canyon. Well, they have work to do.
They got a lot of work
to try to avoid a new low tonight. And Utah State has 57 right now.
That's one of the things about Utah State. They're a unique defense to go against.
And Jared Calhoun is also not afraid of style points. And you know, just with the metrics and the net and knowing how important every game is, trying to boost the resume as best as possible, he's not going to take a split off the gas, just like what happened in the game against Memphis just this past Saturday. They ended up winning that game 99-75, a 24-point win. Penny Hardaway wasn't happy about it, but you can understand where Calhoun's coming from. It's a 4-on-3. It's Collins, corner look, wide open, and a splash.
The discrepancy in quality of shots, Utah State compared to Boise State, is dramatic. Layups, open threes for Utah State, everything contested for the Broncos.
Javen Buchanan bumps into Templin, and that's going to take us to a timeout. Templin doesn't like it. That might be the only thing Utah State can complain about tonight. They got this thing in total control with 7:38 to go. A defensive clinic being put on tonight in Logan as Jared Calhoun's squad has the Aggies up 60-37. Over the last 21 minutes, Utah State has outscored Boise State by 30. And they have a 60-37 lead right now, 7:38 to go. As Jared Calhoun continuing to make his case to the committee. Utah State's in. There's not a doubt about that. It's where are they in, and that's quite the resume.
Yeah, all the metrics, the net, Ken Palm, really high on Utah State. And then when you watch them, they pass the eye test as well. 3-2 in quad 1 games. And again, 22-3 is 22-3, especially in a quality league like the Mountain West.
Yeah, to win at the pit, that win over VCU early in the season was pretty important. And you think of the 2 blemishes. I mean, okay, so they shouldn't have lost to UNLV at home. But UNLV, we know, is a scary team. Going to Grand Canyon, that's been a really tough place for anybody in this league to win. One of the toughest home court environments in the West.
Yeah, and Grand Canyon, I know it's their first year in the Mountain West, but it's a group that's a team that's been to back-to-back NCAA tournaments, so it's got a winning culture around that program, too, to go along with it.
Caden Henley, special player. Bryce Drew has done such a good job with that program, ushering in a new era into the Mountain West, and boy, they have been delivering. False left, right hand, floaters a miss. Took it right back, and the second chance.
You talk about taking someone's lunch money.
over Templin. Fielder now. Templin fighting for it. That's not a scuffle you want to get in. But how about this play by Mason Falslev? This sums up Mason Falslev in every way.
This is just clean as a whistle. Ripping it from Drew Fielder, going up with it. Drew Fielder's a big, strong dude.
That's playground stuff right there. Yeah, I mean, you see that on the schoolyard. Mason Falslev.
He's had a heck of a second half.
15 points on the night, 11 here since the midway point. And now Falslev's fouled. And Utah State continues to put it on. And I have a feeling, Nick, we saw Utah State at the end of last season. They played at Colorado State, and they struggled in that game. It was a year where Utah State had so much good going for a while, and they faded going into the tournament.
No doubt. There's something to peaking at the right time, and it seemed like Utah State peaked too early last year, and I think that's top of mind for Jared Calhoun.
Allen hit on his trip, so he'll have a couple of free throws going after Nato fouled him. Boise State has not made a field goal in over 7 minutes.
And in this second half, 5 for 22. What's amazing is building this lead, Boise State started 9 of 18 from the floor. And just ever since Utah State decided to ratchet up that defense, it has been tough sledding for the Broncos.
Yeah, second half for Boise State, 5 of 22, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. And Leon Rice, again, saw this team start 1-5 in conference. They rallied, had won 7 of 8, a lot of momentum. Had a pretty disappointing loss against UNLV. And now here they are at Utah State, a team that beat them handedly in the first matchup, doing the same again as Utah State tries to get their second sweep of Boise State in the last 3 years, something done just one other time in this rivalry's history. Falslev trying to get it underneath, but a takeaway. And another thing about, just talking with Jared Calhoun about this Utah State team, they really seem like they've put an emphasis on bringing in some athleticism and physicality from what they had a season ago. Going to get MJ Collins,
yes,
bringing in the freshmen that they've brought in. It's a very different team from a squad that went to the tournament last year.
Yeah, Clark's got some grit to him down low. Elamene's got excellent length on the wing. Kobe King is a veteran guard that brings a scoring punch off the bench.
3 to shoot. I'm not sure if Allen realizes. He's got to put it up. I don't know if he got it off in time. It's close. Rattles out. They won't reveal it. Dylan Andrews knocks down a 3. And for Dylan Andrews, 9 points for him tonight. And it's been interesting for Dylan Andrews. When he's been good, I mean, Boise State has been one of those teams that's just really hard to beat. But he's had other nights where he's been a bit more on the pedestrian side. And they almost need Dylan Andrews to be a true catalyst for what they can do offensively.
Yeah, just look at that. That tells you the tale, especially that 33 points on the road in the pit at New Mexico. It is a game. Boise State needed all 33 of those points. But you can tell there's Dylan Andrews' success and Boise State's team success seem to be tied to one another. Just not enough offense from him tonight. And in a related story, Boise State just had a hard time collectively on that end of the floor.
Fielder's got 14. That's a season average. That's the only player for Boise State in double figures. Meadow has added 8. And while the crowd has undoubtedly been relentless from the opening tip, the Utah State defense is matched in every which way.
A little bit of I don't think the shot clock started. I guess the game clock didn't start either.
Iron out the technical issue. I say, Nick, blame it on the snow. Any issue tonight,
right?
Blame it on the snow. 8 inches fell in Logan earlier today and counting. So we'll see.
It was not pretty out there today. To have a crowd like this, considering the conditions, is amazing.
Man, they're all staying. Nobody's left. 21-point lead for Utah State on their home floor. Trying to get their 23rd win of the season. Falslev bumped, and he's got a couple of free throws coming his way. Preseason all-conference players, Mason Falslev, and it's interesting with this Utah State team. There's so many players that get the attention. MJ Collins, notably, and we've talked a lot about Elamine and Perryman, and Drake Allen, of course, but Falslev has just kind of been that guy at the center of it all. So he misses the free throw.
He's the heart and soul of this program and this team right now. Both ends of the floor. Just a stud.
Though he missed 2 free throws, so I'm sure he'll be reminded of that at some point.
I bet he will.
Between now and their next game at Nevada.
He's had a pretty good second half, though. Let it slide, I suppose.
Nato way deep, rattles it in. So Boise State had missed 7 straight threes, and then Andrews gets that one before Nato connects on another. And a technical foul has been issued to Leon Rice. Came after the 3 as we step aside. So a tee for the second winningest coach in conference history. Right now his team down big. If you wait long enough, Utah State stars will rise to the moment. MJ Collins has done that with Mason Falslev tonight.
Second and third in the conference in field goal percentage. These two guys not only score, but do it efficiently. MJ Collins, a little corner 3, and then Mason Falslev, who struggled a little bit in the first half, not in a very good rhythm, but in this second half has just been incredibly effective. And I thought he set the tone to start the second half. The first 4 minutes of the second half, he had 9 points right away and extended that lead and really pushed Boise State against the ropes.
Yeah, in the first half, it was about the second unit for Utah State. But in the second half, it really has been about the 2 primetime players. And Falslev on the left, Collins on the right. Collins is going to shoot the free throw for the Leon Rice technical. So Collins in double figures, something he's been in all but 1 game this year. 10 points. Now, still the second lowest output of the season, but that's because he was pretty much silent in the opening 20 minutes. It has been a very different story since.
What a find in the transfer portal. Vanderbilt, only 7 points per game, so it wasn't like it was a for sure guy that you figured could come in and get you big point production. But Jared Calhoun, great talent evaluation.
Basically taking the Ian Martinez role.
Yeah.
And MJ Collins, probably a more complete scorer. Falslev, rise up.
Man, how about your roll man, Mason Falslev, hammering it.
Falslev's got some hops.
Yes, he does.
There's Nato now. Parolin's 3. Third straight made 3 for Boise State. All likely too little too late.
Couldn't buy a bucket for a long time, and now 3 in a row from beyond the arc.
Here's Collins. He slides his way through. just look at MJ Collins. That's just a score in every which way. And kind of exactly what Utah State needed.
They need Collins to get back on track a little bit with his three-point shot. But he still is scoring the ball and finding a way.
(69-50) Utah State by 19. The lob and the lay-in for Zach Keller. Falslev with the assist. Final 2 minutes from Logan. Ball gets underneath. Buchanan runs into a double team. Gets the pass through, and Parolin gets the layup around the hoop. So Boise State, who has led the Mountain West in scoring in the last 9 games, held in check tonight. Mason Falslev, different kind of night on the other end.
How good is this? Pick and roll with your 2 backcourt mates, and the roller, Mason Falslev, dunks it in traffic.
And now the Aggies can empty the bench. The bench that's brought the energy tonight. Falslev's fired up for them. Why not? 95 seconds left, and Utah State's on their way to improving to 13-2 in Mountain West play. A full game lead on San Diego State. One more sub will be coming in. And there are a lot of smiles on that Aggie bench right now.
Deservedly so. A little bit of a slow start. Again, got down 21-14, but it has been a heck of a finish. Well, the final 30 minutes or so of this game has been domination from Utah State.
Luke Kearney gets it to go. Luke connects.
How about that? Aggressive off the bench.
Kearney, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona, the transfer from Air Force, comes into the game right off the bench and scores. This is 10th game played this year.
It's not easy to sit for 38.5 minutes and come in and catch, rip, go, mid-range, bucket.
Nato misses the free throw. And for this Boise State team, again, we've said it before, we'll say it again, that the offense that's so predicated on getting to the foul line. They didn't get a lot of whistles tonight. Didn't get many free throw opportunities, just 6 of 8 in this game, now 7 of 9. A high percentage, but not enough opportunity.
Couldn't punish the switching defense from Utah State as well.
Jordy Barnes with the basketball. (15 for Perryman. Long 2. Well short. Picked up. No reset. Another air ball. That one's picked up down low, and Gary Clark puts it in. And as Utah State opens up this stretch where they finish the year, a 3 from up top.
Bun boom.
Bun boom. Aggies play teams 2 through 7 in the standings to finish off the season, including tonight's game. And they are looking like a relentless force in the Mountain West Conference. Less than a second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. As Boise State is going to be held to their lowest scoring game of the season. The 6th time Utah State has done that to an opponent. 0.3 of a second left. The handshake line's already. Utah State wins their 8th in a row as they improve Well, they'll put 1.3 seconds left on the clock. Utah State gets to 23-3 on the year. And the top team in the Mountain West stays at the peak with a 19-point home win over Boise.
Well, Utah State, the consistency with this program has been remarkable, and it continues to roll forward. A heck of a game from Utah State. A little bit of a slow start, but boy, were they good for the final 30 minutes.
Utah State's fans brought it from the get-go, and Utah State, after falling behind early, rallied in some kind of way, dominating the second half of this game, outscoring Boise State 45-33 tonight en route to a 19-point win, 75-56, the final. For Nick Baugh and our entire crew, my name is Trent Rush. Thanks for being with us for some Mountain West Hoops late night on FS1, where Utah State puts on a show on their home floor, doing it with defense, as Boise State held to their lowest scoring game of the season. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and thanks for being with us on our triple header of Fox College Hoops. Good night, everybody.